So how much money do realtors make? Actually, we're going to take a look at an example of a $100,000 home just for simplicity's sake, and we're going to talk about where all of those numbers go. Okay, so generally speaking, and actually legally speaking, we cannot ever say this is the standard rate. For fair competition, there is no standard rate. You can look at the general average, and you will find most often that the general average is somewhere around 6%. And that can vary quite a bit depending on the area, but in a lot of places, that's what you will hear the most often. And that can vary amongst brokerages as well. It's actually another legal factor that brokerages cannot say, let's all agree that we want our commission to be 10% in this area, and then nobody will be able to say anything. And that's not fair for anybody. It just helps to encourage fair competition. Brokerages can set a minimum that their agents are allowed to charge, but ultimately an agent is an independent contractor. And so regardless of what the agency says that is the minimum that they should charge, let's just say, for example, if they said it should never be less than 4%, then the agent can say, well, I decided that I think my commission and my services are worth charging the 7%. Now, here's where we start to break it down. 7%, let's just say, of 100,000, for simplicity's sake, 7,000. So is your realtor putting $7,000 in their pocket? No. This $7,000 gets broken up several different ways. For the most part, in our area, greater Omaha area, it's a general practice that 2.4% will go to the buyer's agent. And so of that 7%, actually a portion of that is going to the agent that's representing the buyer that ultimately buys your home. And once again, that rate may vary depending on what area you are in. It's not a standard number. But since I'm in the Omaha area, and like I said, for simplicity's sake, we're going to stick with that example. So far you have $2,400 is going off to the buyer's agent. So that leaves behind $4,600 for your listing agent. Right? No. The $4,600 is the amount of money that goes into the listing brokerage. And so that amount gets broken down further. There are fees that may go over to marketing, may go over to basically the administrative side of listing a home. Fees that may go over to maybe if they are part of a team, it might get split out further. Teams and brokerages in the area can vary widely on what that percentage might be. It might be 80-20, 90-10, 70-30, 60-40, maybe even 50-50, depending on how you connected with that agent. So now just using the example of a 70-30 split, you're talking about around $3,600 that's going toward your listing agent. And not only is that covering their time, but also the cost that they might spend to get your house sold, such as marketing or such as other resources that they might use. The key box that goes on your door and some of those fees, any printing that's done, signs, balloons, did they bake cookies for your open house? I bake cookies for open houses, but I try not to eat them all. And depending on what the market is like at the time, this could be as short as a month, maybe slightly less, and it could be as long as several months. So just keeping that in mind, that 7% or that 6% or whatever percent it is that you're coming to with your listing agent is not a percentage that's going directly into their pocket. There are quite a few splits along the way. And more importantly, you want to take into consideration when choosing your realtor that when you're working on selling what is likely your biggest asset, take the time and learn to see where are they investing in your property? Where are they putting in the extra legwork and the extra time to make sure that you are getting the value of what you're paying for and for your home to sell for the value that you're aiming for. I hope you found value on my channel, and if so, make sure you like or hit the subscribe button down below. And take a look down in the description for my free printable ultimate moving checklist. Make sure you check out this video on how to determine the value of your home. I'm Kristi Wampler, and remember, I'm here for your family.